right, and we are finally here. The day has come. Episode 1 of the Jets Group Chat podcast. Crazy fucking idea I had in my head about a month ago has come to fruition. How you guys feeling? I'm here with my boys Dennis, Jerry, and PJ.
What's up?
Our boy Nick had to hightail it on us tonight. Couldn't make the debut episode, of course.
I'm going to go ahead and break the ice. Fuck man, bro. You don't want to show up? Fuck him.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
And there it is. There it is.
There it is. Started off hot, baby. Let's go.
We knew it was coming, but we'll come out guns
He was
blazing
waiting
here.
for it, too.
Right.
We'll be prepared next week. But, yeah, man, we had this crazy idea about a month ago or so around Super Bowl time. If you guys don't know us, we all grew up in Carteret, New Jersey, and all went to the same high school and elementary schools together and shit. And we've all kind of just been bonded. There's not many Jet fans around Carteret, New Jersey, at least in grade school. So
Fake-ass Cowboy fans.
Yeah, so when you come across one, you got to kind of bond together. So we've all been friends in just different groups because of that. So after we all graduated about 15 years ago or so, we've all stayed in touch through this crazy group chat where we just bullshit about the Jets. And I thought it would be awesome to bring this to a podcast.
It's fun and it's terrible at the same time.
Yeah, man,
The off season is
there's
the off season
being a
is
Jets
great
fan,
and
man.
the season is terrible.
Right. Don't we feel like we're here same always in the group chat anyway, like optimism is hell, like
No,
when
fuck.
February and March comes around, we're like, yeah, we're going to get Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, we're going to get this guy. And then either we end up with nobody or we end up with the guy, and the guy that we wanted ends up
Or we end up with the guy that tears his ACL
Like,
in the off season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like every
Le'Veon
year
Bell.
I get yelled at. You know, like when you talk to somebody who doesn't really talk sports that much, and you're like, yo, this is our year. We got this. We got Corey Davis. We're ready to rock. And they're like, you say that every year. You suck every year.
Every year.
And like you kind of have no rebuttal to that. I feel like that's my life on Groundhog Day. Just nonstop all the time.
Yeah, man, you want to be optimistic, and every year we are optimistic, and then by like week 3, it just becomes apparently obvious that this ain't the year.
Do we
Like,
get that far?
We knew.
Do we get to week 3?
Yeah, like yeah, a lot of times no, man. A lot of times no. Like was that the year with C.J. Mosley? We're beating Buffalo at the
Bro,
half. We're like, yeah.
That was
we got
that was when
Mosley.
Darnold threw that crazy pass to Le'Veon Bell for a 2-point conversion, and that was the last.
My
catch
God, we're gonna
he
be
had
good
for the
this
rest of the
year, and then that was it. That was the end of that.
Yeah, it's always.
Gotta close, baby. Gotta close.
Always the same stuff, man. But yeah, crazy shit going down today to kick off the off season. And the off season honestly hasn't officially started yet. Of course, legal tampering begins, I believe, on Monday. I want to say at noon. Could be 4 o'clock. I just kind of made that.
I feel like
up.
4 o'clock's always that magic number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's Monday. So, but some fireworks going off today. Russell Wilson, of course, being traded to the Broncos for a haul. This is where we have our Jamal Adams clown session for a minute or two.
Good stuff.
R.I.P. baby. Can I say something real quick? Although
Of course.
I feel like it was a nice trade, I feel like Seahawks got fleeced again.
Yeah.
I kind of
they're
feel
always
like,
getting fleeced.
it was all right. It was good. Like, you give up a potential Hall of Fame quarterback. You either have to have one waiting in the wings or the opportunity to get one. They do not have either.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he was gonna fit any. I mean, he was. Excuse me. I'm not sure he was gonna be able to do it there anymore.
No, definitely not. But I feel like, stick with it. Roll with the middle of the pack. Like, are they in a rebuild right now? Are you not in a rebuild right now?
Oh, they're for sure in a
Do you
rebuild.
give us give us DK Metcalf? What do you do? I don't know.
I'll take
I
DK.
need to know right now.
Did they say
sent back
like
that 10
what
pick.
years the first round picks were?
I don't think that's even out yet, PJ. That's a good question.
No, I
but
think I remember. I think it's first and second rounds this year and next year, and then like a 3 and a 5 this year, if I remember correctly.
This and next year.
So they
this
move into
year's
the
first round.
they're right ahead of us at 9, which kind of affects us because if they could kind of hawk a player from us that we might want. So.
Go quarterback.
The Broncos have 9.
The Broncos did have 9 because it's Falcons 8. Yeah.
Well,
Broncos
Well, hopefully the
9.
Seahawks are going for offensive linemen, building that offensive line.
Watch them get
And
a
we get our
quarterback,
offensive
man.
lineman
Watch them-
early.
I wouldn't be surprised they draft the
I
quarterback.
will be honest with you. I mean, that's probably good if they're looking quarterback. They're in a good spot there. The only person you have to really worry about is Carolina, and who knows what they're going to do. Bro, draft Malik Willis. He's
Yeah,
nice.
get Malik Willis up there.
He's
yeah.
good. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to be that good. And then even the Senior Bowl, I'm like, oh, he's just like a runner. He's just going to kind of run around. Like, then he was throwing bombs the combine. I was like, okay, I see you.
He was fun to
See what
watch.
happens?
Yeah.
I got to watch like 1 or 2 games of him in college. That was actually pretty good.
If Seattle doesn't pick him up, Pittsburgh's going to take him. So
Yeah.
They were talking. A lot of people
it's
were
not a hot
talking.
quarterback class, yeah.
Jets are in a prime spot, man, because you figure for a fact Washington football Commodores, whatever the hell their name is now, who the fuck knows?
Commodores.
Commanders, whatever.
Just say Washington.
Yeah, probably the worst time to be called something like a commie right now, but that's neither here nor there. But they're looking for a quarterback, and then it's a weird spot because there's no studs. There's holes.
Well, the big
everywhere.
question is who's going to be the next quarterback to get paid like that, or even close.
Well, who's next up? I feel like it's just like a rolling lead now. Mitch Trubisky, if he has a lights out year, he might get crazy.
no,
Like
You never know, bro.
who was the guy from Green Bay that got paid like that after 3 games?
Matt
Flynn.
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 Matt Flynn,
Yeah.
yes, for the Seahawks.
Yeah, by Seattle, yeah.
And he knows it.
enough. Yeah.
Well, here's another thing too, and this is another take that I got for it. Like, the Rams have showed, like, draft picks don't mean shit. So you're gonna accumulate picks, and Seahawks are notoriously bad at drafting. Like, didn't they not have a first round pick for the past 7 years? Wasn't that the running joke? But
Yeah,
I feel
they've gone
like
a while.
you gotta hit somewhere, and I feel like they might reach for quarterback, they might not. Who knows? But it's just it's a rough time to be a Seahawks fan right now, or a Sierra fan. I don't know.
Wait,
Yeah.
so who
But
are the Jets going to go with at pick number 4?
Yeah, combine this past weekend. Obviously, it seemed like the mock drafts were out there, and you kind of thought that you had the names pinned down that would go top 4. Whether you don't know the order, but you kind of figure Neal, Hutchinson, Ikonwu, and Thibodeau kind of seem to be those top 4 names that have been out there for months now. But a couple big combine performances from Sauce Gardner. And,
Love him.
a couple other guys, Willis and some of those other guys now.
I think we're all on the
seems like
Sauce
they've-
board here. We're all on
Yeah.
board for Sauce.
Hot take of the century. I don't want him at 10. Maybe he ain't lasting until 10. I don't want him at 4.
Yeah, I'm all on the Sauce train. I think most of us are in agreement. But after
That's
that,
high though.
after that-
4 is high for a corner.
Yes.
Well, hypothetically, Thibodeau and Sauce are there at 4. You go Thibodeau,
KT,
you guys?
get an edge rusher, 100%. Because here's my thought
What
process.
if the
on this.
offensive lineman?
4
there?
and
Who is it?
'cause they don't
Right?
EK. But I feel like it's going to create more problems than not. Like right now, you have 2 tackles, 2 starting tackles. You don't know what Becton's going to be. Assuming he's going to come back to his form 2 years ago when he was a stud, everybody was loving him, and then everybody jumped off that train. Noah Fant had a nice year, he had a good year, but is he really going to sustain that? I feel like he's better suited on that right side. Adding another tackle there is just going to create more problems.
That's true.
And you're going to draft EK or whatever his name is to play guard at 4.
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
Take Linderbaum.
Yeah.
Take the old world center if that's what you're going to do. I think you go stud anywhere you can. I would go KT. KT is this year's Micah Parsons. I'm calling it right now. Everyone's talking shit. Everyone's saying he's this, he's that, his character. Okay. He might be a me guy, but guess what? Winning is the best deodorant. Get 20 sacks. I don't give a shit if you call the Jets the me's, whatever.
Yeah.
Just get 20 sacks. That's fine.
I'll take 20. I'll take
Yeah, man,
10.
you're right.
I'll take
sign
Calvin
up for
Pace
that.
right now.
Yeah, I'll sign up for that. If I could take Calvin Pace in his prime at 4, I'm going for
I'll take him.
So,
How old is he now? We'll take him
But-
now.
68,
Yeah, right?
something like that. I
Him
don't
and
know.
John Abraham.
But you make a good point there, Spiga, that this is the guy that was the consensus number 1 guy on the board for the last calendar year. Are we going to have some bullshit rumors and happenstance that are getting floated around there? Because you know a lot of times that bullshit that gets floated around pre-combine, leading into the combine, into the pro day, a lot of that's talk by GMs and agents wanting their guy to fall
kick
a
people
certain
down.
place.
And remember, Daniel Jeremiah is Joe Douglas's boy. So all the things he says, take it with a grain of salt. You might be kicking the can down the road so KT falls. But I don't know. I'm all about impact player any way he can get it. If he's going to be a starter all around, take him. But everyone's, center's too hard, but you're going to take a guard? What happens if best case scenario? Fant crushed on the right side. Becton's back to normal on the left. Now you're stuck. Now you
I've
made
actually
this
been
guy a
thinking
guard. I mean,
all day about what if they were to trade back from the 4?
That's
well,
not a
here's
bad idea. I think it depends who's there. Like
it's all
if
about the board.
You could pick up maybe
I
picks
think
later in the draft next year, maybe a player.
doesn't it feel like the wild card to this whole goddamn thing is Hamilton?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to. I don't
So
know if I want to do that for
Hamilton,
again.
Hamilton at 4, absolutely not. Hamilton at
No,
10,
I'm not saying
no,
for us.
no.
I'm saying,
Oh,
but
okay.
if he goes off the board at 3, another guy's available that you're not anticipating being there at 3. Oh, we got PJ back. We lost
PJ, where you
there
at,
for a
bro?
little bit. It's all good,
You
man.
made it back.
Yeah,
Y'all
this thing
good.
just
Does it
bugged out
not know
on
you're
me.
recording a podcast right now, bro? That's wild.
We're just talking about who we're liking for the Jets at 4 right now. So far, we've all kind of agreed we go Thibodeau if we're there. I'm intrigued by Sauce Gardner at 4. Spieg and Dennis are kind of on the fence. If both of them are there, they'd probably go Thibodeau. I'm a little bit more leaning towards Gardner, but I'm not sold one way or the other. Who are you liking at 4, PJ? Oh man, I think we lost PJ.
Damn, I'm gonna step in for PJ. The problem now is the board. So sneaky under the radar now that everyone was focusing on Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Cam Robinson just got franchise tagged. So
Right.
now the Jaguars have their left tackle again. So now does that bomb all the mocks? They're not going for Neal. You're not going to put him at right tackle first overall. Probably not going to do the same thing with what's that dude named Ike?
Yeah.
E-
Oh,
Econ-
no.
The dude from
Econwu, I think
North
it is.
yeah, NC State. So
Yeah.
now you look at it there. So I kind of feel like with that signing, you're guaranteeing Hutchinson or KT.
Ikem Ikwanu.
Yeah. And then if you go down the board, I mean, like Detroit could take a quarterback, but they're not going to unless they fall in love with somebody. They're probably going to go impact player, defense. So boom, you got the other edge rusher there. Houston's the wild card. They can go any direction possible. They can go for a left tackle or an offensive lineman. They can take Hamilton, Sauce. They're nuts. They can do whatever they want. But
Yeah, to me though, doesn't Dan Campbell seem like that crazy fuck that would just take one of these random quarterbacks at 2?
I can see the Texans taking Hamilton.
bro,
I could see
Yes,
Detroit.
Detroit. What you said.
I could
imagine
just
they
see
just go
Detroit fucking
Willis.
around
Yes.
to go pick it.
Yes.
why not?
Yeah, like that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, nobody's talking about it, but I've seen a couple. I saw a couple different guys that were down at the combine tweet that over the weekend. That like, I don't know how realistic it is, but like there was chatter going on that the Lions are not out on a quarterback at 2. Which, if that happens, then just blow all the mocks up because I haven't seen that mocked anywhere.
No.
And I don't take mocks very serious at all, but I think they're just interesting to get an idea of like who can fall where.
Yeah.
You throw Willis or Pickett into the mix at 2. Things get a whole lot more interesting than we thought they were going to.
Yeah, that's really surprising that nobody has the Lions taking quarterback.
Well, you're paying Goff a shit ton of money too. You
Right.
know, it's like at 2 you got to take an impact player, and I mean they're bad, but they showed heart. They played well down the stretch of last year. I mean, to be honest with you, watch like this draft is gonna be wild, and I'm gonna say this right now, and I hope it's not true. I really do. I'm getting serious. It's like 2013 vibes from this draft. Remember when nobody came out of the first round because like no one knew anything? Like I think there's a lot of like random studs like sprinkled in there, but like no monsters. There's no like sure things. There's no like this is gonna be. There's no Patrick Surtain here. You know, there's no Mike Parsons.
Well,
And that like
I'll say speaking of wide receivers in the combine, they did really well, and
it did.
Yeah,
And I want one of them.
I thought everybody in the combine did really well.
Yeah, those 40 times were insane.
I think I'm team
Yeah.
Drake London.
See, I can't.
I think like Sauce Gardner is
Yeah, man.
close to Patrick Surtain. Maybe if not, he might be better. Like he's nice.
Yeah, it's lean though, super lean.
Yeah, I think there's just room for him to fill in though. He's a young dude. Like, I know we talk about it in the chat, but I get serious like Antonio Cromartie.
Yeah, you did say that.
vibes.
Oh yeah.
Like that length. Although I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Crow wasn't like an all-world corner, but Crow was a Pro Bowl
Stop.
caliber guy that.
Oh yeah, he was good.
I mean,
No, he was really
I
good.
mean, if you're telling me that we draft Sauce Gardner at 4 and we get Antonio Cromartie's career, like I think I'd sign up for that.
Sign me up right now.
That's an
Absolutely.
impact player. We
Yeah.
don't have many of those.
Yeah, I think we took that dude for granted a lot because we had the fucking best player in the history of the franchise
Yeah,
on the
Revis.
other side of him his entire time there. So it gets taken a little bit for granted how good he really was, but he was a
Yeah.
really good athletic player.
Oh yeah,
Definitely get the Crow vibes from Gardner, but it's hard to say. I mean, it's going to come down to
Bored.
it's just another aspect of this draft where it's just super unpredictable, and usually most years you kind of know who's going 1, probably who's going 2. Like, just these teams are all so bad and have so many holes that you don't know which one they want to address because there is no sweet spot for a quarterback here. Like, Trevor Lawrence is there. They don't need a quarterback, not that there's one to take. Detroit probably needs one. Is there one worthy of the second pick? Probably not. Is one worthy of the third pick? Probably not. And we obviously don't need one. So if you were going to trade out, like if there was a quarterback there, I think hypothetically either one of those 4 teams at the top of the draft are all in on trading out of that spot for
Yeah.
a quarterback.
that's for
But
sure.
there's really not one that you have to trade out because nobody wants to.
No.
You could
Yeah, no.
you could sit like Carolina at 6 and get the number 1 quarterback on the board probably, if
Easily.
that's what you want
Like,
to do.
and still call it a reach if
Yeah.
you think about it. Like that it's all going to depend like on how this board falls. And like this is like you said that weird draft. And to be honest, I don't love 4. I don't like the
don't love
value
4
there.
either.
Like I don't like like, depending on how the board falls. Obviously, you can get Hutch could fall, you can get KT could fall, whatever the case may be. But I don't love the value there. Like I know, obviously, like trade
So-
out, trade out, trade out. That shit's harder than you could think of.
Maybe
But-
as it gets to 10, we might be able to trade out of 10, and somebody might want to get a quarterback around 10, and we can go backwards.
If we can guarantee one thing in this draft, Joe Douglas will trade a pick at some point. Period.
Right.
Lock of the century. Lock it up. Get on DraftKings. Bet it if you can. He is going to make a trade somewhere.
I think that was a really good point that you made, Dennis. The 10th pick. I think that's a sweet spot to trade out. Like you said, particularly good spot if you want to move up. You like the quarterback, but you're not sure. I think
Yeah.
10's not reaching for the guy if you like him.
That's where it's certain
4 is like 2
certain
is
teams
reaching
are
for the
floating
guy.
around over there, and then there's teams coming
Right.
behind them.
So if you're a team like sitting at 18 or 19, you want to go up to 10 to get the quarterback. Like if you're Pittsburgh and you love the guy,
The Saints are at
You
18.
gotta- I
yeah,
feel like if you
move
love
up.
somebody, you got to come to 10. Because Carolina's the only really team outside of maybe Houston if they don't love Davis Mills. Like
What about the Falcons?
Washington, they're paying too much money to Matt Ryan.
Did they finally
$100
give
million.
Matt Ryan a
Yeah,
backup?
Yeah, they could give him a backup and groom him so that by the time Matt Ryan's gone,
I think
But
this
But
is
I
the
feel
year
like
for
they
that.
have so many holes. They got to have some. Like Judge. They took Kyle Pitts last year, so you don't know what the hell they're gonna do.
If they could get
But,
Kenny Pickett at 8, would they do it?
probably.
The
But I
problem
think
with it-
Washington's taking a quarterback no matter what. So if somebody wants that guy, you got to come to 10.
Yeah. I think
Period.
the problem with Atlanta taking a quarterback now is like you said, not so much that Matt Ryan's there because obviously they have to get his successor in tow and groom him, but what do we talk about all the time? We've talked about it a lot when we had Sam Darnold. The golden rule of like the rookie deal and winning on the rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Matt Ryan's a $48 million dead cap hit this year and $43 million dead cap hit next year. Like can't move off of that. So you're talking about sitting the kid at minimum till his 3rd year. At that point, you really only get a year, maybe 2 of him developing before you have to pay him on a second deal.
Looks like
So
they'll be trying to get a
that's-
steal in the later rounds then.
Yeah, I mean, you want to take a guy in the 2nd round, that's fine. But when you have so many holes like they do, it's hard. Like you said, unless they love the guy, then you go up and you get him. But I don't know, based on what I've read and what I've heard people say about the quarterbacks in this class, I don't know if it's worth it to take one of these guys at 8 and then have him sit for 2 years while you have 1,000 other fucking holes on the roster and you're
Yeah,
just
don't
wasting
be like the
money.
Packers and draft Jordan Love.
Right. Like case in point.
Now he's just
He
doing
like they're gonna
nothing.
have to cut him before he ever sees the field at like another
Ugh.
time.
What is, what is
Yeah,
his
they got to
what,
trade him probably.
They
what
trade
is
him
his
to the
value? What is
Giants.
his value?
None. He played one.
Yeah.
Like there's not. You're gonna. There'll be a team who maybe takes a flyer on him, throws like a
It's got
he's
to
a
be
quarterback,
something. Yeah.
a third round pick at him. Somebody's gonna throw something at him. But you got to figure he started once. He kind of shit the bed. Yeah, he's learning behind Aaron Rodgers, but that's the entire allure of his status right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, but I mean, and switching gears back to Atlanta, I mean, like, look at them. More than likely, they're picking in the top 5 next year, and you're gonna have probably 3 studs come out. Was it the kid from Bama, the other kid from Ohio State is gonna come out? Like, there's gonna be quarterback class next year is somewhat strong. Um, I feel like you take best player like at that point, like where you are there, and you're kind of know you're dead on arrival. Take the best player available, whoever's there, develop them out. I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta starts selling people off because they're in such cap hell.
Yeah, I
And
mean they just lost Cordell Patterson, who was a big part of their offense last year.
Yeah.
They don't have Calvin Ridley. I mean, taking like a guy like Garrett Wilson, I mean that might be an option for him.
For the Falcons?
PJ, yeah.
Yeah.
They got. Yeah, they need a lot.
I saw a thing online, which it's not the worst idea, especially if they like have to start unloading some of those contracts that they know they got to pay. D line, Grady Jarrett, send him to the Jets.
I did see
Yeah,
that.
that's not
Yeah,
bad.
I like Grady.
He's a
I
monster.
had my eye on him as a cut guy too. I like Grady Jarrett.
You could see the Falcons
I
drafting Hamilton if he went there. Drop down to 8. I can't see him getting
he
past
does
that.
everything.
I don't. Yeah, he doesn't make it to us
Hamilton-
as 10.
Kyle Hamilton feels like that guy that the Jets end up with every year. That he's the best player in the draft. He's fallen to the Jets.
Leonard Williams, you mean?
Leonard Williams, the best player in the draft. Jamal
Shit.
Adams, best player in the draft.
Or Dwayne Robertson.
Sam Darnold, best player in the draft. It feels like every year the guy that everybody thinks is the best player in the draft.
We get him.
Falling.
We give him a lot of flack. Jamal Adams balls. He can't catch for shit, and he's an asshole, but he balls. He's a good safety.
Yeah,
but
he's
you
terrible.
don't take him at
He's a terrible
6.
person.
Terrible person.
I still haven't burned that jersey. I should have did that a while ago. Now it doesn't even
Never.
matter because now his life sucks over there. So it's all right.
But in retrospect, doesn't that just kind of like the Jets took Adams at 6? They had him. He was an All-Pro. Joe Douglas comes in and he's like, "Nah, I'm good." Trade you for a pick, and now with that pick, you're going to take another safety higher than you took Adams. It
don't make sense.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't make any sense because I think at that point you just pay Adams, but you obviously didn't value the safety enough to pay him.
And that's why I don't think they're going to go with. They're not going to go get what's his name. They're not going to get Hamilton, especially at 4. They don't value safety.
He is different, right? He's like an Ed Reed type of.
Yeah.
Like that might change your mind.
Yeah, but
their skill sets are completely different.
You know who else was just like that coming out of college? Taylor Mays. And what did he do? Absolutely nothing. He was a monster. He was 6'5", huge, thick, can run.
USC guy, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And did nothing.
Yeah, Jabril Peppers was like that too.
Jabril Peppers, I would not mind if he's on the Jets next year. I would not
He's
mind
a free
that.
agent, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They said there's going to be a huge market for him, too.
I'd like for them to take a safety as a free agent rather than draft a safety.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect segue going into for free agency.
I was just gonna say that's perfect. Yeah.
Come on, babe. I got this. This is your Captain Handsome Jared speaking. I got this. Don't worry about it.
Let's go.
Going into free agency, I know tampering period starts Monday next Monday 4/12. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of guys, and this is where I really struggle as a Jet fan. Every year, I'm like, I want that guy. I want this guy. Ooh, he would fit. Cap his this. This would be nice. If I bet my life, I get none of them.
Get none of them.
None of them. That's why I'm like, I'm looking. This year, I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna tailor my expectations. I'm sitting here. I would love Carlton Davis. I would love a stud number 1 quarterback.
Brandon Scherf.
He's too injury prone. He's too
old. He gets
old.
hurt. I was about to say he gets hurt a lot.
I would have liked Brandon Scherf 6 years ago.
Nice. Ripe age of 30.
I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. And you guys, all 3 of you, and Pickle, fuck him. He's not here. He's gonna be wrong too. If there's one thing that we could be certain of, 2022, Ryan Griffin season, baby. He's back. I'm telling you, we ain't getting
No
no
way.
type of tight ends. He's coming back.
No way.
Watch.
No way.
Watch.
No way.
There's only one in the
You sound like
draft.
a Jets fan, man. You sound like a Jets fan.
Exactly. I've done.
That's very
Listen,
Jetty right there.
Cardi Party. I've seen this. I've seen this movie play out way too many times. That motherfucker will be back.
If he's back, I don't think he's playing all like you're just saying he's on the roster. You're not.
Oh, he's on the roster. They'll start him to the roster.
He's not tight end 1 though.
Oh no. Like, right now, so I mean, obviously we all kind
if
of.
Ryan Griffin's tight end 1 on opening day, something went fucking amicably wrong. Like,
Somebody fucked up and somebody's fired.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like Joe Douglas is no longer the GM if Ryan Griffin
God,
is.
can you imagine?
Oh,
Like,
God.
he's like, oh, I forgot to carry the 2. Oh no. Looking at it like that though, like I mean, obviously we know we have a lot of needs. You know, you need a number 1 corner, and you want D line. You need another line. You need a Will linebacker or a Sam linebacker, excuse me, edge rusher, line, everything. It's all about giving Zach Wilson weapons around him, because then you have no excuse. If he sucks, he sucks. There's nothing you could do. But at least you justify that you surrounded him with everybody you can.
Right.
Every young quarterback, and you look at all the successful quarterbacks pretty much right now, even outside of Aaron Rodgers, but he makes everybody successful. They all have a stud tight end or a safety blanket to throw to. Period. You know, like, there's a lot of stuff happening downfield. Obviously, Corey Davis gets tripped up, Elijah Moore gets double covered, whatever it is. You got to have that person just dump that like 5-yard stick it route to at all times.
Jameson Crowder's gone.
He's gonna be gone. But like honestly, as much as like we wanted Schultz, the group chat was blowing up, and I cried 3 times today because we didn't get him. But expected. You got to get McBride now. You got to get Ruckert. You got to get one of like the 2 big guys. You can't settle for like a 6th round UCLA kid. Like you can't do it. You got to get a proven player who's gonna ball out, who could play day 1 and take 2. Honestly,
Right.
2 tight end set, something. We need playmakers. We need ballers on this field. And tight end's a big one. I mean, I almost think tight end's more of a need than a wide receiver, to be honest with you, in my
I
mind.
do too. And I think LaFleur wants to showcase a tight end in his offense. I've heard him go on record as saying like it's an important part of what they want to do as an offense. And there's no better security blanket for a young quarterback when if your line is suspect, which I think the Jets' line is probably, I'd categorize it a little bit better than suspect. But when you're running for your life, there's no better safety net than that tight end just sitting out there in the flat, dump it off for 4 or 5 yards, and all of a sudden you get a first down after the guy runs for 7 yards after the catch.
Exactly. Giving us who we thought Jason Morrow should have been.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much what
We
Dustin.
thought a lot of people should have been.
Right. Pretty much what we thought Dustin Keller was for Mark Sanchez.
I'll be honest with you, Dustin Keller wasn't horrible. It wasn't awful.
No, he wasn't awful.
Yeah, Dustin
No,
Keller's
he was
probably the best tight end the Jets have had in the last 20 years.
Yes, he might be.
He
Like,
was
I
like a
think
little
that's
dumb.
debatable.
No. You look like, we had Kellen Winslow. Bro,
What about Austin Safarian
not
Jenkins for 6 games?
No, because he dropped the ball
there you
against.
go.
He dropped that ball in the end zone.
That was a
Yeah,
touchdown. That was a touchdown.
You look at looking at here the stats for Dustin Keller, bro. 2008,
They're good.
50 catches, 55, 65 catches, and then he tailed off 28 catches. Bro, if you can give me a solid tight end who gives me that like 50 to like 70 catches, even if you give him 80 targets, like fine. Like give Zach Wilson something to like move the chains. That's what Michael Carter had to do. He was, did it great, but like you need someone who's going to keep moving the chains and then take that middle of the field away so you could have Elijah Moore run around, roam, and then whoever else you have just take the top off.
How about we pick up Gronk?
He's not coming to
He's 7 years old.
I think he wants to. I've heard he wants to play with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I heard that what he said.
Well, their guy's a free agent, right? J.C. Uzma, right?
CJ Uzama.
Uzama.
Uzama, yeah. I
Uzama.
think he is a free agent, right?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so.
Oh, yeah, you could take him.
Yeah, but I like you said, Spiga. I think they have to go McBride in the second round if he's
Have
there.
to.
And
Have to.
I still would be into like signing there. If you look at the free agency class in terms of tight ends, there's a lot of good vet depth there. Like not the guy that I want to throw out there as my tight end one and feel great about, but like there's Zach Ertz is out there. Like I don't mind McBride and Zach Ertz. I don't mind Gerald Everett and Trey
I
McBride. I
fought
don't
with the
mind.
dude on Twitter today about Zach Ertz. 5 years
I
ago,
don't.
Zach Ertz to be my TE1,
Yeah.
completely you're nuts. You're delusional. But you want to pair him with, like you said, like that Jeremy Ruckert. You want to pair him only with him or McBride to kind of teach
Right.
him that like good inline blocking, but still be somewhat of like just a larger receiver. I'm 100% on board with that. You can't take him and then be like, oh, I'll take somebody else down the road to develop. Like, no, he's got to be a complement to somebody else you draft if you want to get Zach Ertz. Period.
I agree.
Yeah, but if your options are Zach Ertz or Ryan Griffin, I mean, you're going Zach
I'm
Ertz.
going Ryan Griffin because I said it. So we
Oh,
have to go with it.
Oh no,
I'm gonna go
no.
Zach Ertz. Put my vote in for Zach Ertz.
I mean, he balled out when he was in Arizona, though.
I know
Like he didn't do too well in Philly, but
because he
he was a
wasn't
big
option
reason for
one. That's what I'm saying. He's like
Kyler Murray,
exactly.
Or
I
we
mean,
can
like
trade back for what's his name that we sent to Minnesota.
Chris
Chris
Herndon.
Herndon, get the fuck out of here.
We'll give you.
Leave the
We're
group
gonna give
chat,
them an
bro.
8th-round pick for that.
Yeah. So
We got a
with the
4 for him,
Cardinals,
didn't we?
I know
Cardinals with the
they can have
Cardinals
an
last year.
8th-round pick. I don't know what that is, but they'll get that.
Nah, B.
With the Cardinals last year, Zach Ertz 56 receptions, 574 yards. So
And that was
that's
what
the
half
cover.
the year. It's only like in
Yeah,
like
that was
8
only
games,
half a
right?
year.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
The
you're not
produ-
taking Ryan Griffin over him.
No, but the production is there. The thing is like look at the other weapons they had though. You had D Hop, you had Kristen Kirk, you had Rondell Moore, you had a lot of other guys there where he wasn't like he was in Philly where he was like
Oh yeah,
getting
absolutely.
110 targets. So like if you can do that, like you said, if you could do that run, and doesn't the Shanahan offense like 2 tight end sets? Don't they have just like people split out all over the place and like there's no true like
They do like a
an
lot of
X,
that
a Z?
crazy the San Francisco shit, like split Kittle out, keep little. But then they used to use
Kittle's
Usacek
so
or
good.
whatever the fuck that guy's name. The
Can we get a
fullback.
Kittle?
Yo, I love Kittle coming
Can
out
we
of
find
Iowa.
one of
I
those?
loved him.
I don't
Can we
think there's
find
one
2
of
of
those guys
those?
out there to be had.
Somebody.
I don't even see any tight end like free agents right now.
Gronk.
Because they're all dead.
Most of
It's
them
like
got tagged.
Yeah, it's like Evan Ingram here. Look at this.
You got
No.
Gronk's the number
don't
1
you
guy,
fucking dare give me Evan Ingram.
and then you have the number 2 guy is number 2 tight end. It's not.
Want to go Mo Alley
Oh,
Cox?
Zach Ertz. We were just talking about him. Zach
Yo,
Ertz.
Mo Alley Cox
According
isn't
to
awful,
ESPN.
but not as like he's like TE3.
I could take him as like a backup of some
I
sort.
feel like if the Colts don't have anybody, they gotta re-sign him. I mean,
Colts need to get a quarterback first, then they get talk.
Think about the duo of Ryan Griffin and Mo Alley Cox.
Can you imagine? Cox and Griffin.
Might have to drop my season tickets if that's the tight end tandem.
And that's another thing for our listeners out there. I am so starving for Jets talk because I moved down to Florida. I have to like do some sketchy ass shit to get fucking Sunday NFL ticket. It is rough down here to have to watch Tom Brady. Like, look, I move anywhere in the world. I move fucking 2 hours from Tom Brady. Like I can't get away from him.
Can't get away from the guy.
He's gonna retire and he's gonna come. He's gonna probably live in my community because we all know I'm rich. He's gonna come down here and he's gonna live right next to me, and I'm gonna be pissed off about it, and I don't know what to do. Tom Brady, I can't get rid of my life, but
I heard Bandoni's coming to move in with you.
bro, I will knock Bandoni out. You don't want to join. You don't want to join episode 1. That's a problem. For listeners out there, there's gonna be a feud between Handsome Jer and Pickle all year long. Get you? I'm telling you.
Even though you guys
2X
like all the same teams.
I know. 2 ex-athletes just grind and fighting each other. That's what it all is. But
you have the non-athlete to facilitate the fight.
it's all good,
That's
baby.
what I'm
You're
here
a
for.
journalistic genius,
Ooh.
Carlos.
I try to bring journalistic integrity to what is otherwise going to be a shit show.
You're like you're the opposite. You're the opposite of You're the opposite of Denzel Mims on the field in journalism.
Damn, son. Carlos might have as many catches as Denzel Mims
Yeah,
has
we
next
do.
year. Who knows?
I have as many touchdowns as Denzel Mims does.
Facts.
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 But yeah, just moving on. Obviously, off the tight end combo, but just free agency in general. Obviously, that pool of tight ends now is watered down with Schultz, Gasecki, and Njoku being tagged in the last couple days. So, like you said, probably look for a tight end in the draft. Obviously, that's a need to fill though. But we have edge. I guess that depends on how. That's the thing though.
Can I bring up
The
a name?
draft. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you
That's
do
what we're
your
here
thing
for, man.
first. Say what you were saying. I'm different. So you
Yeah,
go first.
I was just saying it's the timing of everything. Like free agency opens in 4 or 5 days. The draft's not for another fucking month and a half. So, do you take the players based on how you make out in free agency, or do you just like, fuck,
Yes.
I need an edge.
Yeah.
Let me sign the best edge on the free agent market, and then do you still look edge at 4?
Den, before you go, so the way you have to play this is you have to take everything as it comes at you. Free agency comes up first, attack it as you're attacking it, and like there is no draft. Get everybody you want. If you think Howard Landry is going to be your all-world everything on the edge,
You go get him.
opposite Carl Lawson, go get him. If you think, hey, I don't really trust any other receivers, go give me Odell. Like, don't do it, but like go after it one step at a time. Go who you can get. I think they're going to come with probably one or two big names, and then the rest are going to be just a lot of depth pieces. But like, it's all going to depend what we do in the draft on free agency. Like, if you go get Carlton Davis, you're not getting Sauce. If you go get Marcus Williams, you're not getting Kyle Hamilton. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
you go
True.
get any of the big wide receivers. You trade for Amari Cooper, you get Allen Robinson. I'm not taking anybody at 10. I'll take Christian Watson at 35 or 38.
That's a good point.
So that was kind of the name that I was going to bring up. We were really, really into trying to get him last summer. All summer, or no, all off season, we were all about trying to get him, and we didn't get him. And now he had a bad year. Allen
A-Rob,
Robinson. Yeah,
Give me. I want Allen Robinson so bad.
See, I'm totally off.
Nah.
I want nothing to do. I want nothing to do with
I
it.
don't know if he fell off the cliff. I used to really
don't
be
think
on his
so.
side. He might have fell off that cliff, or did he need to change the scenery?
Change scenery. I don't think he liked Justin Fields. Everyone talked. He didn't even see the. If he listen,
Didn't even see the
looking at
fields.
He was
Yeah,
hurt
he
a
didn't
lot
even-
though, wasn't he last year? He had a
no,
lot
he
of
just didn't
injuries.
play him.
No,
They had Mooney was basically running his Z routes.
Couldn't even use him in
It-
fantasy.
He was
I
on the
dropped
bench
him.
all year long.
I dropped him.
Allen Robinson's a baller. He's 28, 29?
29.
He's going to sign a 1 or 2 year prove it deal. He's going to ball the fuck out to get one more big payday, and I'll take the benefit from that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll take a veteran wide receiver.
And he's a
Or
good
Zach
he's a
Wilson.
good dude too, isn't he? Like he's not like a dick.
He don't drop a lot. He catches the ball. He's got a good catch rate.
No, and he's expressed that he wants to play in New York.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seemed like last year when remember like there was the big to do where we didn't know whether Chicago was going to franchise him or not,
Exactly.
and there was all kind of fans tweeting at him like, "Oh, Robinson's going to be," and like he kept
liking
liking them, yeah.
Hell
But
yeah.
that was the only team he was liking that shit for. Like a lot of fans were tweeting at him, but it just seemed like he was like all about potentially being a Jet, and obviously that was taken out of his hands.
I'll take it.
But I mean, you kind of have the worst year of your career in the year that you want to get paid. So yeah, I think though that's like you said, Spiga. If we're signing Allen Robinson and you tell me if we record this next episode and we open that the Jets fucking signed Allen Robinson, it can't be for more than like a year at like
No, it's a 1 or 2 year
10
deal.
million, 11 million. Like take
I'll
a
throw
1
10
year,
million
prove
at him.
it. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'd give
10's
him.
all right.
I'd give him. Or you want to tell me they're going to give him the Robbie Anderson contract 2 for 20 or some shit like that?
I'll
Like,
do that.
He's going to get a 1 or 2 year deal. He ain't going to do nothing bigger than that because he knows he's got another like big contract left in him, and he's going to.
See, I don't know about that.
I think
He's
going to.
He's old for a receiver now.
But
He's gonna play this year at 30.
But he's 2
So
years
say-
removed
say
from
he
catching
ball-
100 balls.
So you ball the fuck out at your age 30 season, and then what are you going to get? A 4-year
Bro, you know how
deal?
many,
Parlay
stupid
off that?
Aaron Rodgers is 72 years old and he got a 4-year deal.
I mean, Aaron
There-
Rodgers is not Allen
I know.
Robinson.
I got
one
I got-
He'll go to a
sling game-
contenders at number 3.
I got 2 more
This is-
names now.
Let's hear him.
On it, if
Don't do it.
would you rather have? Would you rather
What-
have?
what
if we
position?
can get him, edge. Would you rather have Randy Gregory or
Nope.
Chandler Jones?
Neither.
Chandler Jones.
Really?
I mean,
If
well,
you're telling me I could have one or the other, I think
if
I'd
you
rather
have to have
Chandler
one,
Jones.
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones
Randy
is 3 years older.
Randy Gregory is nice. Too many penalties. And he's too much of a bad locker room guy. He's
Yeah.
a stud player.
Jones is older, man. That dude gets to the quarterback.
He does.
know.
He's always good.
He's gonna be the dude like James Harrison, like not obviously the same caliber, but like He's going to
Just
play
always
till he's
around.
40.
Play forever.
And, like, at 40, you could sign him up for, like, 9 sacks. Like, he just... Or even Jason Taylor, when he played for us. Remember that year we signed him, that random-ass year where we almost went to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like, I
Watched
like,
the game
forget
in
he
my
was on the...
house.
10.
I, like, forget he was on the team, but, like, you go back and look at the roster that year and the stats, like, that dude ended up with, like, 8.5 or 9 sacks. And, like, I didn't even remember he was on the team half the time.
Think
Like,
back 5 years previous, would have never thought he'd be on the Jets.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like Chandler Jones is that dude just, like, he just stays getting to the quarterback. Like, he might be slow, might be aged, he doesn't
He's-
play in the run game, but you put him in there on third down and rush the quarterback. Like,
Carlos, you know you
still
spelled
good.
your name wrong.
Yep. P.S. I saw that.
Hard yes.
Carpus.
Chandler Jones though he's gonna demand a lot of money, and I feel like he's gonna go to a Chiefs. He's gonna go to a Packers. Like he's gonna go somewhere where like he's got
Where
a
he can
chance to
win.
win.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah, like you know who we're gonna end up with? Derek Barnett. Like we're gonna
I'm
get
cool
like
with
one
that,
of the.
but that's like
Yeah, I'd be fine
a
with that.
back.
But he's a poor man. He's a poor man's Carl Lawson.
He was my favorite player at Tennessee University.
He was nice though.
Yeah.
Or
Like, I
until
feel like-
Alvin
I don't know if
Kamara
he's
came through.
starter anymore. So.
I don't know. I like. There's a couple guys like I want, and like
let's hear him. Who do you want? Who do you want? Let's
I-
go through the gauntlet now. I mean, the three of you. Give me like 2 or 3 guys that if free agency comes Monday and Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, the tweets start fucking coming out ablaze.
Let's do it.
What's
All right.
first?
I
Give
want-
me each of you first. Give me those
3.
reports start trickling out. 4:00. Let's say the time is. I don't know that for sure. 4:05. The New York Jets have agreed to terms with.
I mean, if you give me
who's
Carlton
the guy
Davis,
you want? Who's
I
the
want
day
Carlton
one
Davis.
guy you want to open with? You want Carlton Davis.
I want a stud number 1 receiver. Stud number 1 corner because I feel like it's going to open up so much for that defense if they're able to actually cover somebody. They'll be able to let pin your ears back, go get somebody, do what you got to do. So I would love a Carlton Davis. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to command too much money. And then after 2 months later, it's going to be like, oh, we are never in on him.
Right.
But Marcus Williams, another one. I think he's a monster in the middle, just roaming center field. But he's going to be one where I feel he's going to command too much money. But not an awful option secondary. I'll take Honey Badger all day long.
Yep.
I will take Honey Badger after that. And then read it up. I want Allen Robinson. That's it. Like I don't need the monsters. I don't need the big boys. Like, there's others that I want, but those 3 I think could be crucial to the building block success. They're all young guys except for Robinson, but he could teach the.
I feel like Honey
receiver
Badger is
room
going to
if
go
he
to
could do.
more of a
Winner.
contender.
He might. That's why I'll take Marcus Williams. Take the
Yes.
money. He's been solid. So I'm going to go with Carlton Davis. Give me Williams and Allen Robinson.
I like that.
PJ, who we got?
I like the center from Tampa Bay. If he doesn't get re-signed,
That's a good
Jensen.
one.
Jensen,
Yep.
nasty. Yep.
Like
Yeah, I just feel like when the Jets had Mangold and the Jets had Malai, like they were good. They were really good. So if you have him there, and then you get Bear Tucker, and you get Fant, and you get Becton, and you got a good line. So I like that. Secondly, I like actually somebody that you guys haven't said yet. He's a D end. Played for the Dolphins, and he had 9 sacks last year. Emmanuel Ogba.
okay. Yeah,
So-
he's good.
He's
Yeah.
young.
Yeah. He's 28 and he's like still in like his prime. You pair him with Quinnen Williams and Carl Lawson. I mean that you got a pass rush right there. I like the Carlton Davis because I feel like if you get like a veteran cornerback in a cornerback room that's already young, and then you draft another young cornerback, so that room is just getting younger instead of like just getting like a one veteran stud to just like groom everybody and be the leader corner. I like that. So I mean, even if it's not Carlton Davis, like J.C. Jackson, I think that's a good name too.
Awesome. And who we like in Den?
First off, I would say I'm never really a big fan of him, but he's a good player and he's young, so I'd say Marcus Williams. He'd probably fit right in perfectly right into that safety spot. We're not too strong back there. I know we have some young guys back there, but so far they don't look great. So I would say Marcus Williams number 1. Number 2, I would go with what PJ had just said at the end of his choices, J.C. Jackson. That'd be my number 2, just because I'm missing a Darrelle Revis type of player. and just getting something like that would be great. He's 26 as well, so he's young. And the third one would be as well the center from Tampa Bay, Ryan Jensen.
Jansen.
He's not, he's middle of the road in age, but he's one of the better centers in the league, and he can hold it down for that.
Yeah, all good names, and I think we're all. It seems like we're all on the same page generally. The same 5 or 6 guys that I think the Jets probably will and should be in on. I agree. I think Jansen is a no-brainer. It's been a while since the Jets have had like a vet solid center. Like PJ alluded to, they had we were like spoiled as shit though. If you look back for the last like 25 years, like
I
we
don't
went
think
from
the Jets fans were spoiled at all.
well,
At center,
in terms of
Mawai
center
and
though,
Mandold, yeah.
you go. I think Mawai was there from '98 to 2005, and then you had Mangold from
Right
06
after
to
until
15.
4 years ago.
So you went from literally 20 straight years of like all pro center play.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's been some lean years since, but
Packers get quarterbacks, we get centers. That's it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it seems like and you don't have. It seems like they're building a lot of that line through youth with Becton and Vera Tucker, and who knows what they do at 4. But Fant's obviously a veteran, but it seemed like it would be. I know a lot of people are like Linderbaum or whatever the hell his name is, the center.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
the draft, but I think you want to have a good mix of like veteran and youth. So if you're telling me that we end up going one of these tackles at 4 and we swing one guy over to guard or something, I mean I think Jansen's a good guy to have. You want to have a good mix of veteran and youth that you're going to give you a good 3 or 4 years of solid play to, and I think that also goes a long way for Zach Wilson. You put a veteran guy under center rather than Connor McGovern. Not that McGovern actually had a good year at center last year,
But I
you're
feel like
telling me
you can cut somebody. You get like a Bradley Bozeman, somebody like that, or like a Ryan Jansen. You cut him, you save $9 million, essentially a wash, and you get like either a younger guy or a better
Right.
guy.
Right.
So I think that's something
I looked at
big
that.
on.
I looked at that yesterday. Yeah, McGovern has like I think they could open up $8 or $9 million if they cut McGovern. So if you're telling me I could cut McGovern,
Get something
Yeah.
better.
the money's a wash, or I add another $1 million or $2 to the cap by bringing Jansen in, I think that's a no-brainer. But
I
like
think
you
they
guys
go
said,
after the
you guys
guard
all
market
agree-
too. I think Joe Douglas, like he did it last year. Just whiffed. He went after Tooney, and Tooney went to the Chiefs. I think he's going to go hard after that line market because I think he wants to draft playmakers. Not. I mean, although draft is great for the linemen, but again, still it takes time to develop, and there's no real studs of value for what they need where they're drafting. You know what I mean?
I think Jensen should be on the top of their list. Like once that 4 o'clock
Yes.
hit, it's Jensen that they're
Yeah.
getting first.
Yeah, I'm not so much on the J.C. Jackson train. I
He's
don't know
nice.
something about. He's good.
Is he a
Yeah,
product
but
of New
Some-
England?
He's
something
got
about
that.
something about New England. Like if New England wants you to hit the market and doesn't keep you, they're like you.
There's a reason.
Bill
Aside-
Belichick's a
aside
smart
from-
guy.
Aside from a player or two that's gotten away when Belichick really wasn't ready to, I can't really remember many players that have left New England after having a good run there and they actually ended up regretting not keeping them.
Yeah,
So
people take less money to
I've-
play for Bill Belichick. And
I've
Yeah.
also heard a lot. I've also heard a lot where I listen to the. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to the Connor Hughes, the Jets beat writer for the Athletic. He does
like to
the Can't Wait. His podcast is called the Can't Wait podcast. And he said
It's a good one.
He said on there 3 or 4 times that like he's talked to a bunch of people that are skeptical on Jackson because they feel like he's the guy that he like needs to be coached hard in order to stay motivated. Like Belichick's the
Yeah.
perfect coach for him to like stay up his ass and he can't slip up, but Salah's more of like a rah like I'm your
hype
buddy
you
type
up
of
guy, not
like,
coach you. Yeah.
yeah, like I'll hype you up, but I'm not gonna be like your babysitter type guy.
Yeah.
And so Connor Hughes has said a few times like his numbers are good and he's got youth on his side, but he doesn't know if it's the best fit for. And again, I don't know if all that shit's true. I'm just sourcing what people who know a lot more about the Jets than I do have said. So I'm a little skeptical on them just because of that. But say here's a hypothetical just before we wrap up. We're in the room. Joe Douglas is in the room. He's on the phone with 2 agents. Fuck, his name's escaping me. Carlton Davis, right? The guy from Tampa. That's
Yeah.
the guy's name, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
He's got Carlton Davis's agent on line 1. He's got J.C. Jackson's agent on line 2. Same offer on the table for both of them. Let's say it's 5 years, $65 million. Both of them are ready to take it. You could only take one from one of those guys. Which guy are you pulling the trigger on?
Carlton Davis.
I
Easy.
agree.
So, real quick, BJ, because I know you're eager to jump in to defend J.C. Jackson. I'm not even going to let you. Look at it. Who are the two coaches that they've had, right? So you got Bill Belichick on one
Billy
side,
B.
and you have Bruce Arians on the other. Bruce
Yes.
Arians was fighting to keep Carlton Davis. It's just they needed Chris Godwin better. They needed him more. It was between both of them. If they were able to get Godwin signed up, locked up long-term deal, Carlton Davis was getting a franchise tag. Patriots made no attempt to bring back J.C. Jackson, and a team that was on the
Amazing.
Tag.
and could have used their franchise tag and didn't. That tells you everything you need to know
Anybody.
on this team.
So the Chandler
Carlton
Jones
Davis
situation?
all day. Might be. I don't know. I get, like you said, I get very like, I got my bag. I'm gonna chill now. Like, I guarantee wherever he goes next year, he's gonna be probably good, but I think he's not gonna have the year that he had this year and warrant the money he's gonna get.
Like the
You
guy
see
from the
that?
Rams?
I'm traumatized by Tremaine Johnson.
Tremaine Johnson.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, we're still paying that motherfucker for some reason.
Yeah.
He's got a Bobby
got,
Bonilla deal, bro. He's still getting paid.
We don't. I think I looked at it the other day. I think we still have like $20 million in dead cap on our cap, and I think most of it is Le'Veon Bell and Tremaine Johnson.
Solid.
Christ.
Solid.
Such a bad move.
Solid gets by McCagnon.
Such a
What's
bad
he
move.
doing?
McCagnon
Who's worse,
knew.
McCagnon or John Idzik?
McCagnon, because he
McCagnon.
did less damage. He was there longer to do more damage.
Yeah, but I
They
feel
were
like
both terrible, but Izdik was. I mean, Izdik was the
bad.
GM, and 2 years later, like we won 10 games. 2 years later.
yeah, but his entire
Actually, no.
remember that
1 year, Izdik got fired. We hired McCagnon.
It was only 1
He
year.
was like-
I think the Jets.
but
had.
that 2012 draft was
Yeah, I think it was 1 year.
so bad. So bad. Oh, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, it's gonna be. I'm trying to look to see how much we still owe. What do you call it? All I know is there's no dead money on Ryan Griffin. That's all I know. That's my man's. But real quick then, before we wrap, predictions, because we'll record again. We'll hop on here to kind of talk through what we did week 1 or whatever it is, or day 1 of free agency. Everybody, give me one prediction. Who we're like, not who you want, like one guy that you're like somewhat sure like we are gonna end up with, in that first not wave, but like that first kind of like heavy round of free agency.
I think, gun to my head, I say Marcus Williams is the one I feel most confident.
Let's say Ryan Jensen.
I say Allen Robinson.
Interesting.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go outside the box, and a name I didn't even say before, but I think there's gonna be a crazy market for him. James Daniels.
Okay.
The right guard from Buffalo, from the Bears. I think looking here, I think Joe Douglas is going to go hard for that guard market because he knows that right guard spot is wide open, and he could have a pretty decent line if we get somebody in there. He's going to shoot for some people, and I don't think he's going to try to go for any of those older guys. But rest assured, whoever he gets, he has versatility. Somebody that we sign is going to have the ability to play guard, swing tackle, center, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's why I feel like Jensen makes so much sense.
Connor Williams is another good one too from Dallas, but he's been too up and down.
Factor that in though, like you also have to have that mindset too of whoever you sign in free agency, depending on position, is one less guy you got to worry about in the draft. So, say you fill corner in the draft, or you fill like you sign Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton's off your board.
Off your table,
yeah.
You sign Carlton Davis, Sauce probably goes off your board. If you sign some of these other guys go off your board. Like, if you sign Jensen and the guard that you want, the linemen.
Lindenbaum's gone.
That's why the draft depends so heavy on what's going to happen in free agency, because all the people that we want in those mock drafts, all the guys and the avenues that we want to go to, depend so heavy on what we do here. But there's I love this. I like the safety market. in the draft.
So do
Like
I.
I love that kid out of Baylor. That was a Petrie. I love if
Yeah.
Dixon or somehow from Michigan somehow makes it to the second round, bro, jump to the opportunity to get him. Like it's just gonna all depend on what we do. But watch us end with Rasul Douglas, the corner from fucking the Eagles, because that's how it usually goes as a Jet fan.
I just if one thing I feel confident in a draft free agency, doesn't it feel like Trey McBride is already on the Jets?
Yeah, I like him.
I hope
I like him
so.
in the second round.
Just like the way people talk on Twitter, like Jets Twitter's a wild place. Like it's another animal in itself. But just like people are talking as if like McBride is already like a
He's
Jet.
already here.
Going back to the Senior Bowl. Just like they coached him up, he's talked about the Jets like in different interviews, and apparently there's a lot of smoke that the Jets are all in on that kid. Like, just feels like he's like a Jet already, and so we're just set up for disappointment
When he's
somebody
not.
jumps us on day 2 and like takes McBride the pick before us or some shit.
Jacksonville will take him with the first pick of the second round. Watch. We'll have to wait
Right.
that whole next day thinking we're
Yeah.
going to get him, and nothing happens.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, though.
Right.
This is and I always get this all the time, and people are like, oh, God, you're a Jet fan. How can you think this way? I really feel like this year and a little bit of last year was the first time more than any other year. I feel like they're going to make the right pick. I might hate it up front. I think they're going to like the tight ends. Like with them having that access at the Senior Bowl and like kind of coaching these kids and like meeting them and kind of like working with them for that extra extended week, I kind of feel like whatever route they go in, they're going to have another year like last year where they're going to hit on late picks. They're going to get like solid 4th-round picks. Their 5th-round pick is going to hit and be somewhat of a contributor. Like we're gonna hate the fact that we didn't get Braxton Berrios, me personally, because I love his hair. But like then we'll bring it back with the kid from Rutgers, and then is like a solid special teams contributor on as a return man. Like I feel like we're gonna hate it up front, but I think talking this time, or next year, we're gonna be like, damn, like he hit again, JD hit again, and like let's run it back again. Like keep that foundational, building blocks, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, man.
So,
I mean,
I don't know.
we've got 5 starters out of this draft. At least right now, it looks like. So, you tell me you pull another 4 or 5 starters out of this draft. I mean, that's an entire starting unit.
Give me 4 and I'm happy. Just give me
Yeah,
4
I mean, 4.
starters.
You have 3 or 4 years where you like if you get 2 starters out of a draft, like that's really fucking good. You get more than 3, like that's Hall of Fame shit. So if you put 2 or 3 drafts together in a row where you're getting 5 starters out of it, like you're
doing
if
something
that
right.
happens, you have to be a perennial playoff team if that happens. Like you can't have 15 studs in 3 drafts and not be a playoff team. It's just not possible. So you just do the right thing at the draft board, the way the board falls, and especially this, like you said it earlier, Spiga, like this isn't the draft for studs. This isn't like the draft littered with Hall of Famers. There's no Jamar Chase. There's no Micah Parsons.
It's a depth draft.
There's no Justin Jefferson waiting there to be had. So, but like the depth apparently is like the strength of this draft. So, like pick 10 if we end up going wide receiver. There's a consensus whether like you could take 5 different receivers at 10 and it wouldn't be a bad pick. But you could have that guy at 10 or you could take him at 23. You get the guy at 23. That's solid value. So it's all about the depth here. They're all pretty evenly graded. And just to like put it in perspective, a lot of people have said like if Elijah Moore was in this draft, like Elijah Moore would be a top 15 pick in this draft. He got
Easily.
in the 2nd round last year. So it just shows you how watered down this class is. Not to say that we're going to get a Hall of Famer out of this, but if you get a solid number 2 receiver that has a couple Pro Bowls under his belt in his 2nd or 3rd year, like I'll sign for that right now. So depth seems to be the name of the game out of this, and as long as you get starters or contributing players out of the draft, it doesn't really matter what position they play. And I think that's with a team as many holes as the Jets have. I think that's what you're looking for: fill holes with quality players. And
That's it. That's all you could ask for.
I think that's the name of the game. But all right, guys, we're approaching an hour here, so I think we'll wrap this up. And appreciate you guys listening and tuning in for the first episode of the Jets group chat pod. We're hoping to do this at least a couple times a month. Obviously, this is I guess, for lack of a better word,
test flight, baby.
Yeah, test flight, but slow time of the year.
Test flight.
Now that,
We'll be better
Now
next
that's-
time.
yeah, but now that free agency's getting underway, there'll be a lot more news. So hopefully maybe we'll wait for that first wave of free agency to wrap up, and we'll we'll try to get back at with you guys again with a kind of a reaction to who we ended up with, who we thought we were going to get, and who we're disappointed that we didn't get. So we'll have plenty of shit to touch on here coming up in the next week or so. And like I said, look out for episode 2 coming your way before long.
Good
Awesome.
stuff. Take flight, everybody. Take flight.
Yes, sir.